Thank you, Tim. That was perfect. It was wonderful. It was exactly how I wrote it. Now, before we get started, I'd like to invite everybody to stand up, look to the person on your left, look to the person on your right. Now go ahead and turn to the one you think is better looking. Okay, you guys can sit down here, all right? It's important to have fun in sales, though. And at SWC, we take our jobs very seriously. We don't take ourselves too seriously. So I'm going to invite you to laugh with me or probably at me. Let's have some fun, okay? I'm also going to encourage you to take some notes. Does everybody have a note-taking sheet and a pen? Tim and I worked really hard on this agenda. I think we have an amazing one for you today. So we've designed it to do a couple of things. And the first is to share some habits that all top producers have in common. I'm also going to share some technical sales skills that you can use at the end of this, okay? Today, I brought some worksheets for you to take notes with. But before we get started, I'm going to have you tear that page in half. The right side is going to be for you to take notes, write all over it, do whatever you feel. The left side of those is going to be for, as we go through this, you're probably going to think of some leaders that could benefit from something like this. And we'll talk about how you can introduce me to them at the end, okay? The second thing that we're going to accomplish here is that Tim and I are going to share the details of a one-on-one coaching program. So if you're like other people that we've worked with and think this will really help you grow, if you feel something in your gut today, then get a coach, right? But if you don't, and that's not you, that's okay. Whichever category you fall into is totally fine. Does that sound good? Okay, so let's talk about the habits triangle. The name of this presentation is Habits of Top Producers. Now, who in here would like to be a top producer? I hope that nobody's over here saying I want to be a mediocre version of myself. And by show of hands, who has a goal? Okay, write that goal down. Write down two. Do you have a specific plan to meet your goal? Is your plan measurable? Do you have somebody holding you accountable? And working with thousands of individuals in hundreds of organizations in dozens of countries, we found that in order to be at the top of your game, where we're not just meeting a goal, but we're exceeding them, it takes mastery of a few things, okay? The first area that you need to master is your skill set. So on the left side of the triangle there, I'm going to have you write the word skills. So what are some skills that you need to be effective in sales? Go ahead and shout them out. Right? You need to generate leads. We need to approach effectively on and off the phone. We need to ask questions, always asking questions about the lead. We present with enthusiasm. We close decisions. We answer objections. We follow up, right? Always following up. We get referrals. Those are just some of the technical learnable sales skills that you'll need to be developed. Now, you ever know a person who is a skilled salesperson, but they just didn't reach their potential because they're not motivated? Don't point at anybody in the room. But the second area here is you must master motivation. So go ahead and write motivation there as well. Motivation is not something that you're born with. And even somebody who is highly motivated can lose their motivation if they're not cultivating it. Now, there's a science to sustain motivation. You need to have a long-term vision. You need to have short-term goals. We need to have a purpose bigger than a paycheck, right? We need to have an attitude of abundance and gratitude. We have good self-talk, okay? These are all things that we'll work on when it comes to cultivating motivation in coaching. It's not just enough, though, to have the sales skills. To reach your full potential, you need to have incredible systems. So on the other side of the triangle there, I'm going to have you write the word systems. Those include things like time management, following up, understanding your sales metrics, and using your CRM, okay? Now, while we certainly do sales training, we don't consider ourselves to be just a training company. We're not just about sharing ideas. We're about truly changing habits. So in the center of the triangle, write the word habits, okay? We'll help you change habits through one-on-one accountability. So I'm going to have you write next to habits, write the word accountability alongside it. Now ask yourself, who is truly holding you accountable? We need outside accountability to truly change habits. Well, these aren't things that I just made up, right? I didn't make it up last night or last year. This is a methodology from our parent company, Southwestern Advantage. Has anybody ever heard of the Southwestern Advantage family of companies? Okay. So Southwestern Advantage was started in 1855, and it's the oldest direct sales company in the nation. Southwestern Consulting was founded on the concepts and principles that we've learned and honed and perfected over the last century and a half. We currently coach and train our clients in 18 different countries. And since 2007, we've coached over 20,000 salespeople, leaders, and even executives as well as other individuals who just want to become a better version of themselves. Often the first people to sign up for coaching are top producers in an organization. And we've coached many of the best in the world. Now, would you imagine that some of these top producers all share a few things in common?